Who's no dummy is Nathan Zegura. He joins us right now on the fan hotline. Hello, Nathan.
Mon Frere, good morning. Good to be with you.
All right, we just had the manager of the Cleveland Guardians call us football guys. Was that an intended shot?
I don't think so. It's the most popular sport in America.
Why do you think that was a shot? Why are you so paranoid?
The way he said, he's like, I guess I'm talking to football guys right now.
Probably somebody who listens over there knows that we have a running thing about being football guy. You're not a football guy.
I'm more basketball, I think.
You are a basketball guy. I'm a football guy. Owen's a football guy. We're football guys. I mean, you've had coaches call Owen and I football coaches before. There's no doubt about it. He probably found out. Maybe he does hear it in the morning. He probably doesn't. But he called us football guys. That's not a shot.
Nathan, have you always been a football guy?
Nathan's basically, well, he was a golf guy at one point.
Golf guy, football. I'm a sports guy. I was, as a kid growing up, loved baseball.
Oh, stop.
Obviously, always loved hoops. But yeah, so I'm definitely. I would say today I've grown into much more of a football guy.
Honestly, I would say 1980s Lima was an all sports guy. If it was on ESPN, I was loving all of it.
You stop it and break down a NASCAR package like you're supposed to.
America's Cup, I'm in.
And I'm not talking about actual NASCAR. I'm talking about football because I'm a football guy.
The lumberjack games, I'm
you guys
in.
Are football guys.
Thank you. Nathan walked into a hornet's nest today. Hello. Nathan, what do the Browns got to do to be able to beat the Detroit Lions on Sunday?
Well, Ken, I appreciate the question.
You're welcome.
They've got to start off by slowing down a great run game, and I think the offensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions gave the Browns, not that they need any more ammunition. These are professionals, obviously, but, he said we haven't seen a run game like theirs yet. And on one level, in terms of their production, he would be correct. You look at Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, they've combined so far this season to rush for over 410 yards. They have 6 rushing touchdowns between the two of them, which is the most of any running back room in the National Football League. But the Browns have gone out and shut down the number 1 rushing attack in the league from last year, certainly, the Baltimore Ravens. Then they shut down Josh Jacobs, who had come in on a historic heater. He'd scored a rushing touchdown in 11 straight games. They kept him out of the end zone and limited him to just over 2 yards a carry. So we've done a good job against the run, and that's going to be key again. You've got to do a good job against the run because when Jared Goff is able to get in that good rhythm and they can use that play action, they do a great job of marrying the run and the pass. He is as deadly, and he is so underrated, so underappreciated, leading the league right now at 77.9% completions, 120 rating. He's been simply sensational, and so if you can try to turn them into a drop-back passing team, I'm not saying it's going to guarantee success, but at least it gives you an opportunity for success. And then on the flip side, we've got to score points. We've got to score points. We have not scored 20 points in a game without Jameis Winston as the quarterback since Joe Flacco helped the Browns beat the Jets on Thursday night and clinch the playoffs at the end of 23. So we have got to score the football if you want to beat a team that's coming in having scored 90 points in their last 2 games.
All right, well, part of it, Nathan, is some people are saying Stefanski and Flacco, they have been way too conservative. But then my response has been, well, the offensive line is in total flux. We don't even know who's going to be available game to game. Then, you've got wide receivers who, according to the tape, I know last week there was some separation, but, overall through 3 games, haven't necessarily been getting as open. And so I understand some conservative approach when the defense is as dominant as they've been. The question is, do you expect the defense to be as dominant against this Detroit attack?
Well, I think it's going to be one of those great matchups. An offense that's playing great. Let's not forget, the Green Bay Packers came into our game playing fantastic offense, and we stymied them. So hopefully you can do that again. And I think that there are, talking to some of the guys on our defense, they do a lot of the things that they've seen all training camp long. Same with the Packers, right? It's a lot of that marriage of the run, the pass. It's the play action game. And so we at least are pretty well versed in that. And I think it's going to be fun. If we can dominate up front, and now Taylor Decker's missed 2 days of practice. That's something to keep an eye on. But really, I think it's going to have to come from the interior. Malik Collins is playing great. Mason Graham's playing great. Maybe you can get Mike Hall back, Aiden Huntington, Shelby Harris, because the guards are probably the weak spot. They have a rookie at right guard, and then they have a 6th-round pick from the year before who's starting at left guard, and I think this is his 4th or 5th start in his career. So that's where I think the Browns have an opportunity to attack a little bit here. But flipping around to the offense, I think a couple of things are happening. Number one, the issues at tackle, they're real. I mean, Cornelius Lucas has given up 19 pressures so far in 3 games. That's amongst the league leaders. And Joe Flacco, I think, knowing his mobility limitations, he's sped up a little bit. So I think there are times when there are plays to be made down the field, but necessarily we're getting our eyes down and we're saying, let's get rid of this football and avoid the big play. You think about the fact we were only sacked 2 times last week. It's kind of amazing. That was a game for pass rushing aficionados on both sides of the ball. Both of those quarterbacks were under duress all game long, from Miles to Micah, Rashawn Gary, who's the NFL's leader in sacks. Miles obviously is second, and everybody else in between. Both teams have good rushers from the interior, which we saw with Malik and Mason and Aiden Huntington. Alex Wright got to the quarterback. So that was a pass rushing bonanza. We have to hope this one is for us. But for the Lions, it's much more Aiden Hutchinson and kind of that's it on that line. So we've got to do a good job with him. But part of it is you've also played some teams that have been playing a little more too high. That's Jeff Hafley's kind of motto with the Green Bay Packers is don't give up any explosives, and they've been giving up explosives, at the lowest rate in the NFL. This week, however, you're getting a Detroit Lions team that's going to play single high safeties. They play cover 1, cover 3 about 2/3 of the time on defense. They're top 4 in the league in cover 1. They're top 4 in the league in single high safety. So there will be opportunities to get the football down the field if we can block it up. So this is a game where I think we really need to be able to attack, and we got to get the receivers going. And it's not just, Jerry Jeudy. It's Isaiah Bond, who's I think had some opportunities to make plays down the field. It's Cedric Tillman. We got to get these guys going. And you look at this Lions team, Terrion Arnold, their first-round pick a year ago, has allowed the most yards in coverage of any cornerback in the NFL. So that's somebody that you can go at. Everybody who has played this team has put up more than 20 points so far this season. So I hope this is a game for the offense to get right a little bit, get a little more prolific through the air, because we're going to need it, I think.
Nathan Zegura joining us from the Browns Radio Network right now on the hotline. It's very rare that 3 weeks into an NFL season, I'm still excited about our rookies, but here we are. It seems like this is by far the best class that Andrew Berry has had, and right now looks like the best class, I think pretty clearly, in the NFL. Just talk about this class in general. What excites you the most?
Yeah, it's been incredible. And, talking to Kevin Stefanski, what he's so excited about is they've taken everything that you've seen in Berea or in Philadelphia or in Charlotte when we went there, and they've taken it to the games. And it starts, Mason Graham over the last couple of games has become really good, especially at rushing the passer. We saw that last week, 4 pressures, his first half sack. Then you've got Carson Schlesinger, who I think right now is a candidate, certainly amongst a leading candidate to be the defensive rookie of the year. You saw him flying around 10 tackles last week. He also had the sack, really should have had 2 sacks, but he's popping every time you're out there. So defensively in the middle, you added 2 major pieces. And then on the offensive side, Harold Fannin is your leading receiver. Dylan Sampson leads all rookie running backs in receptions. Then you look at Quinshon Judkins. He leads all rookie running backs in rushing yards, and he's only played really 2 games, or I'd call it a game and a half more realistically. And he's been leading. Think about Genty was drafted in the first round. Hampton was drafted in the first round. So that core group right there has been so good. Obviously, we haven't seen the quarterbacks because Joe Flacco's the quarterback, but obviously they like what they saw from Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders in the preseason. Then you go, you add in some of the undrafted free agents. Rocket Sanders scores your first touchdown of the season. I don't think many people have that. Aiden Huntington has been an absolute gem for this team in terms of what they discovered in him, not only playing special teams, getting to the quarterback, playing offense as your fullback. He's done so much and brought so much. And then Andre Schmidt is a rookie. And while week 1 not great, last week it's the game winner as the AFC Special Teams Player of the Week. So it's a rookie class that has the ability to, I think, have produced, multiple starters for you on offense, multiple starters for you on defense, potentially down the road, either a quarterback solution or a good backup quarterback on a rookie contract. That's a great haul. And you picked up a first-round pick next year, which doesn't even count, but that really is a part of this class. So, yeah, it was and needed, quite frankly. It was very needed that the Browns had a very successful draft.
Brian, Nathan Zegura joining us on the show. Brian Daboll spent 10 hours, for 10 hours with Jackson Dart yesterday. Is that normal?
Like 10 consecutive hours? Just the 2 of them?
According to Pelissero and all the other ones, he spent 10 hours with Jackson Dart yesterday. Getting ready. I
imagine they're there in the building for 10 hours, so maybe. But the fact that it's being reported by Pelissero makes me think that it is somewhat unusual, and they're really trying to get him up to speed. I don't know. Did you guys see the clip of Dexter Lawrence?
Yes, we played it.
Boy, he didn't look happy.
Yeah.
No, so that's one of those things that makes me just kind of I don't know really how to read it, but it certainly, gets my attention and would make me think that Dexter Lawrence doesn't think necessarily Jackson Dart is really ready for this tough game to put him into against a very good Chargers defense. And, the 10 hours would suggest that they're trying to do everything they can to make sure he is ready. It's an interesting situation. I don't think it's necessarily the wrong situation. I don't think they're going anywhere with Russell Wilson, but it's an interesting situation and one that I think will be, a good, fun storyline to watch this weekend.
Yeah, I'm sure, Nathan, that Mike Pettin was like, yeah, I had 8 hours with Johnny Manziel. Now, he was in a closet, and we were looking for him, but he was in the building, so that counted, right? You don't have to comment on that, Nathan.
Yeah, you don't have to comment on that. That's right. That'd be unfair. Terrible. I watched Dylan Raiola. Now, hey, I know you're a pro guy. I just got to ask you, though. I watched Dylan Raiola last week, and it just looked like he was trying.
That's a Mahomes impersonator, right?
Yeah, exactly, because this is where I'm going with it. I think he was trying to make it harder than what it was. Like, it's just throw the ball normal. Just throw you have a slant that's open, stand and deliver the damn football. And instead, we got sidearming, we got a back shoulder and off our back foot and all this other crap. And I see that. I mean, you saw the arm slot thing going on with Arch Manning now, which I don't think Arch Manning is going to be influenced that much because who his uncles are. But I see this all the time now, and I'm like, has Patrick Mahomes ruined young quarterbacks?
So I don't know that he's ruined young quarterbacks, but I think it's in much the way that, you go to youth basketball and you see every kid trying to be Steph Curry and shooting threes. And it's just, that's what has been successful. That's what's been popular. And so people like to imitate the great ones. I mean, Kobe Bryant could not have been more of a facsimile, or tried to be anyway, and he said so, of Michael Jordan. So I think it's just kind of human nature that you want to be what has been the best. I think Raiola takes it to a wild extreme.
Yeah, but that's one way to put it.
I'm not. It's kind of crazy, but it's not that surprising to me. I don't know that he's ruined quarterbacks, but there are a lot of different ways to win at that position. I think that we've entered an era where people would immediately, and it's funny because I think, obviously Tom Brady, he's the best quarterback of all time. Joe Montana, different era, but those would be my top two. But where people would say, yeah, I don't, he's not going to be able to win out of structure. I don't, you don't like, he doesn't give you enough as Tom Brady, which obviously is absurd. But I think that that's kind of where the movement is, where you've got people who just make it. And that's why I think Jared Goff is vastly underappreciated, because he just, it's pretty simple why he's so effective. He reads defenses very well. He delivers the football on time and accurately. There's nothing really flashy about it. He doesn't have the strongest arm in the world. He doesn't throw the ball through a wall. He's not going to go run around and make a lot of plays, but he's very good at subtle pocket movement. But that's not as exciting. So despite the fact that the guy's putting up unbelievable numbers, and I saw a comparison to his numbers and Drew Brees' numbers, and I know it's slightly different era, hard to say, but they're right there. But it's just not considered, I think, as fun for the young players or just even anybody. So I think Jared Goff is criminally underrated. And back, we've been doing this a long time for 2016. I would have stood on the table and done backflips to get Jared Goff in the Cleveland Browns uniform.
Yeah, that was a wild ass time, my friend.
Yes, it was.
It's a wild ass time. Nathan, thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you on Sunday.
All right. Stay football, guys. Let's go.
Oh, I ain't never changing. I ain't changing for nobody. Nathan Zegura on the Fan Hotline.
You guys are football guys.
I don't think it's a shot. There's a lot of people saying, oh, it was a shot. It was a shot.
You guys are football guys.